Is it recording? Red light's on. If Daddy finds out we're here, we're dead. Then he can't find out. Emma adjusted the phone. Perfect angle. Camera pointed straight at table 7. Riverside Grill. Saturday night. 3 8-year-old girls in pink dresses, hiding in a corner booth. One phone recording everything. This is insane, Lily whispered. This is genius, Emma corrected. Daddy and Sarah from his office. Both single parents. Both lonely. They're perfect for each other. Except Daddy thinks he's meeting a school principal. Sophie said. Morrison Elementary. Principal Sarah Mitchell. Renovation project. Very official. And Sarah thinks that Daddy finally asked her out, after a year of coffee machine flirting. We hacked Daddy's work email for this, Lily hissed. We're going to jail. We're 8. We're going to our rooms. Forever. Through the window, their father's car pulled up. Positions. 3 blonde heads ducked below the booth edge. Michaelchen walked through the door. Navy shirt. Portfolio under his arm. All business. The hostess greeted him. Led him through the restaurant. Past romantic couples. Candlelit tables. Soft music. To table 7. Where Sarah from accounting sat waiting. Navy dress. Nervous smile. Michael stopped dead. Sarah. She stood. Michael. Hi. I wasn't sure you'd. What are you doing here? Her smile faltered. What do you mean? You invited me. No, I have a business meeting. Morrison Elementary. Principal Mitchell. I'm not a principal. Michael, you sent me an email. You asked me to dinner. I never. He pulled out his phone. Before we continue, please tell us where in the world are you tuning in from. We love seeing how far our stories travel. Sarah showed him her screen. There it was. His work email. Subject, would you like to have dinner? I didn't send this. Yes, you did. Tuesday morning. Then Michael heard it. Giggling. Guilty. High-pitched. Familiar. He turned slowly. 3 blonde heads, peeking over a booth divider 20 feet away. Wide eyes. Hands over mouths. His daughters. Oh no, he breathed. What? Sarah followed his gaze. My triplets. His voice was hollow. My 8-year-old triplets just catfished us both. Sarah's mouth fell open. You're what? Emma. Lily. Sophie. Michael's voice cut through the restaurant. Get over here. Now. 3 girls emerged like prisoners, heading to execution. Pink dresses. Matching guilty faces. One phone still recording. They shuffled toward the table. Hi, Daddy, Emma whispered. Don't hi Daddy me. What did you do? We can explain. You hacked my work email. You impersonated me. You catfished Sarah. You lied about a fake school project. Did I miss anything? All 3 burst into tears. We were trying to help. Lily sobbed. You've been so sad since Mommy died. Emma cried. We just wanted you to smile again. Sophie added. Michael's anger deflated like a punctured balloon. Because they were right. 2 years. 2 years of going through motions. Work. Parenting. Surviving. Not living. And his 8-year-old daughters had noticed. Sarah stood frozen. Processing. Triplets. Widower. Elaborate scheme. I should go, she said quietly. I'm clearly not supposed to be here. No, all 3 girls shouted. Please don't leave, Emma begged. We picked you specially, Lily added. Daddy talks about you all the time. Sophie finished. Michael's ears turned red. I do not. You do, Sarah said softly. You bring me French vanilla creamer. My favorite. I only mentioned it once. That's just being nice. 3 months ago, Michael. You remembered for 3 months. They stared at each other. The triplets held their breath. Sarah started laughing. Actually laughing. This is insane. Your daughters catfished us both. With fake emails. And a fake school. I am so sorry. Stop apologizing. Sarah wiped her eyes. This is either the worst setup ever or the best story we'll ever tell. You're not mad. Oh, I'm furious. But also, she looked at the triplets. Also kind of impressed. That took serious planning. Emma perked up. It did. We made spreadsheets. You made spreadsheets for catfishing. Michael's voice rose. Color-coded. Lily added proudly. We're grounded forever, aren't we? Sophie asked. Beyond forever, Michael confirmed. But Sarah interrupted. Since we're already here, already dressed up, already the center of attention. She gestured at the nearby tables, watching with barely concealed interest. Maybe we could just have dinner? As colleagues, clearing up this mess. Michael hesitated. You're sure? I took 2 hours getting ready. I'm not wasting this dress. The triplets squealed. Does this mean we're not grounded? Emma asked hopefully. You're still grounded. Both adults said simultaneously. But Michael looked at Mrs. Chun, who'd materialized from another booth. You knew about this. Their elderly neighbor smiled innocently. The girls needed a chaperone. You drove them here? Helped them. You've been alone for 2 years, Michael. Someone needed to intervene. Michael sat down. Heavily. Sarah sat across from him. The triplets retreated to their booth with Mrs. Chun. So, Sarah said, this is awkward. Monumentally. Your daughters hacked your email. Apparently I need better passwords. And created an entire fake identity for you on a dating app. They did what? Sarah pulled out her phone. Showed him a profile. Michael Chun. 36, architect. Widower with triplets. Looking for someone who understands loss and loves kids. Oh my God. The photo's actually quite good. That's my company headshot. They're very thorough. Michael buried his face in his hands. I'm so sorry. This is so inappropriate. You're a colleague. This is workplace harassment. Michael. Sarah's voice was gentle. I said yes. He looked up. When I got the email, I said yes. Immediately. Before I could overthink it. Why? Because I've wanted you to ask me out for months. I just never thought you'd noticed me. I notice you every day. The words hung between them. You do. Sarah's voice was barely a whisper. You wear a different colored scarf every Monday. You hum when you're concentrating. You take your coffee with 2 sugars, and that specific creamer. You have a photo of your daughter on your desk, and you touch it every time you're stressed. Sarah's eyes filled with tears. You notice all that. I notice everything about you. He stopped. I didn't think I was allowed to notice. It's only been 2 years since Claire died. I thought it was too soon, that I'd be betraying her memory. And now I'm sitting across from you at a romantic restaurant because my 8-year-old daughters decided I needed to start living again. And I'm terrified. But also what? Also maybe they're right. Sarah reached across the table, took his hand. I lost my husband 3 years ago. David. Heart attack. He was 34. Sarah, I'm so sorry. The first year I was numb. Second year angry. Third year, I finally started breathing again. Started thinking maybe I could be happy again without feeling guilty. Do you still feel guilty? Every day. But less. And I think, she squeezed his hand, I think David would want me to be happy. To find joy again. To not waste my life being sad. Claire said something similar. Before she died, she made me promise I'd keep living. That I'd find love again if I could. That the girls needed to see me happy. Smart woman. She was. They sat holding hands. 2 broken people. Slowly healing. From their booth, 3 girls watched with bated breath. It's working, Emma whispered. They're holding hands. Lily squeaked. We did it. Sophie breathed. Mrs. Chun smiled. Don't celebrate yet. The hard part's just beginning. Dinner lasted 3 hours. They talked about everything. Work, kids, loss, hope, dreams they'd put on hold. Tell me about Claire, Sarah said. Michael's expression softened. She was sunshine. I know that sounds corny, but it's true. She made everything lighter. Even when she was sick, even at the end, she was trying to make us laugh. She sounds wonderful. She was. The girls have her smile. Her laugh. It used to destroy me. Now it comforts me. And you? How did you survive 2 years alone with triplets? Barely. Michael laughed. Those first 6 months, I was drowning. My mom helped. Mrs. Chin helped. But mostly I just put one foot in front of the other. Made breakfast. Packed lunches. Went to work. Came home. Repeat. That's not surviving. That's being strong. It's being terrified of failing them. Sarah understood. Maya was 6 when David died. She asked me every night for a month when Daddy was coming home. I didn't know how to answer. How do you explain death to a 6-year-old? You can't. You just hold them while they cry. Exactly. They talked about their kids. About the funny things, the hard things, the everyday miracles. Maya wants to be a veterinarian, Sarah said. She brings home every stray animal she finds. The triplets want to be detectives, which explains the catfishing scheme. They're resourceful. They're criminals in training. Sarah laughed. That real, unguarded laugh that made Michael's heart do things it hadn't done in years. What about you? He asked. What do you want? Beyond raising kids and tolerating coworkers. I used to paint. Before David. Before Maya. Before life got complicated. Why'd you stop? Time. Energy. It felt selfish to do something just for me. That's not selfish. That's human. Sarah smiled. What about you? What did you give up? Playing guitar. I was in a band in college. Terrible band. We played exactly 3 gigs. But I loved it. You should start again. The girls would hate it. The girls would love it. Kids love seeing their parents be people. With interests. With passions. Michael thought about that. When's the last time you painted? 3 years. You, guitar, 2 years. We should fix that. Yeah, we should. When the check came, they argued good-naturedly. I'm paying, Michael said. We're splitting it. Sarah countered. This was my fate date. That I fake accepted. They compromised. Michael paid dinner. Sarah left the tip. Outside, the autumn air was crisp. Stars brilliant overhead. So, Sarah said, what happens now? Now I take my criminal daughters home and have a very long talk about boundaries. And us. Michael took a breath. Would you like to have coffee? Sometime? A real date? One we both know about. Sarah smiled. I'd like that. Wednesday. After work. Wednesday's perfect. They exchanged numbers. Real numbers this time. Sarah touched his arm. Thank you. For tonight. For being kind. For not running when you realized what happened. Thank you for giving me a chance. For seeing past the scheme to what was underneath. 3 little girls who love their father very much. 3 little girls who are grounded until college. Sarah laughed. Go easy on them. They meant well. They catfished you. They gave you back your life. Michael watched her walk to her car, watched her drive away, then turned to find 3 faces pressed against his car window. We saw everything. Emma announced. You held hands. Lily added. You're smiling. Sophie finished. Car. Now. They scrambled inside. The drive home was silent. Too silent. Are you really mad? Emma finally asked. Michael looked at them in the rearview mirror. What you did was wrong. You lied. You hacked. You manipulated. You invaded my privacy and Sarah's. All 3 faces crumpled. But Michael's voice softened. You also reminded me of something I'd forgotten. That it's okay to want happiness. That loving again doesn't mean forgetting Mom. That she'd want me to keep living. So we're not grounded. Lily asked hopefully. Oh, you're absolutely grounded. 2 weeks. No TV. No tablets. Extra chores. They groaned. But also, Michael smiled at them. Also thank you. For caring enough to interfere. For seeing what I couldn't. Did it work? Sophie asked. Do you like Sarah? Michael thought about 3 hours of easy conversation. About the way Sarah's eyes lit up when she talked about her daughter. About how natural it felt to hold her hand. Yeah, bub. I really like Sarah. 3 girls erupted in victory cheers. Mission accomplished. Best matchmakers ever. You're welcome, Daddy. Still grounded, Michael reminded them. Worth it, they chorused. And honestly, Michael couldn't argue. Wednesday's coffee date was perfect. No kids, no schemes. Just two adults getting to know each other. I can't stop thinking about Saturday, Sarah said. Me either. I'm still apologizing to HR in my head. HR doesn't need to know. Your daughter knows though, right? Maya knows everything. She's been interrogating me for 3 days. What did she say? That if you hurt me, she'll hurt you. She's 9 and terrifying. Michael laughed. The triplets said the same about you. 8-year-olds threatening me. Great. They're protective. They're sweet. Misguided and criminal, but sweet. They talked for 2 hours. About everything and nothing. Can I ask you something? Sarah said, and you can tell me if it's too soon. Anything. Do you ever feel guilty? About this? About us? Michael's chest tightened. Every single day. Like I'm betraying Claire. Like being happy means I didn't love her enough. Me too. David and I were supposed to grow old together. Having coffee with you feels like cheating. Even though he's gone. Even though he's gone. Sarah's voice cracked. How do we get past that? I don't know. But maybe. Michael reached for her hand. Maybe we don't have to figure it out alone. Maybe we figure out together. I'd like that. They met again Friday, and the following Tuesday. Each date easier than the last. Each conversation deeper. 6 weeks in, they decided it was time. The girls need to meet Maya, Sarah said. Officially. Not as part of a scheme. And Maya needs to meet the criminal masterminds. They're going to love each other or hate each other. No in between. Let's find out. They met at a park. Neutral territory. The triplets arrived vibrating with excitement. Is that her? Emma pointed. A girl with dark curly hair stood by the swings, watching them approach. That's Maya, Sarah said. Be nice. We're always nice, Lily said. You catfished her mother. Michael reminded them. We're mostly nice, Sophie amended. Maya watched them approach, arms crossed, protective. Hi, Emma said. I'm Emma. That's Lily. That's Sophie. We're the ones who set up your mom with our dad. I know, Maya said. Mom told me everything. Are you mad? I'm deciding. The 4 girls stared at each other. Michael and Sarah held their breath. You really made spreadsheets? Maya asked. Color-coded, Emma confirmed. And hacked email. It was actually pretty easy, Lily admitted. And you did it because your dad was sad. He'd been alone for 2 years, Sophie said. We had to do something. Maya considered this. My mom's been alone for 3 years. I've been trying to find her someone. But I'm 9. I don't know how to hack email. We could teach you, Emma offered. Really? Totally. But only for good. Not evil. Obviously. Just like that, they were friends. Racing to the swings. Arguing about who could go higher. Laughing like they'd known each other forever. Michael and Sarah watched in amazement. That was easier than expected, Sarah said. They bonded over hacking. I'm not sure that's a good thing. Look at him, Michael said, watching the 4 girls. They fit. They really do. For the first time in years, both of them felt something they'd forgotten. Hope, but for now turned into every weekend. Then twice a week. Then constantly. 3 months in, Sarah and Maya were at the house more than their own apartment. Should we just move in? Sarah joked one Sunday. The 4 girls stopped mid-game. Yes, they shouted in unison. That was a joke, Sarah started. Was it though? Michael asked quietly. Sarah looked at him. Are you saying? I'm saying this already feels like home. With you here. With Maya. With all of us together. Michael, we've only been dating 3 months. I know. And if it's too soon, we wait. But I also know that I love you. That Maya fits with the girls like she's always been here. That you fit with me like you were always supposed to. Sarah's eyes filled with tears. You love me. I'm completely in love with you. Oh, thank God. Sarah laughed through tears. I've been terrified to say it first. I love you too. So much. For girls erupted in cheers. Yes, they love each other. Operation matchmaking complete. We're the best, Emma declared. You're also eavesdroppers, Michael said. We learned from you. Lily shot back. Fair point. 6 months in, Sarah and Maya moved in officially. The house exploded into beautiful chaos. 4 girls sharing 2 bedrooms. Constant noise. Constant laughter. Constant everything. I need earplugs, Michael joked one evening. You love it, Sarah said. I really do. One morning, Michael found a note on the kitchen counter. In Emma's handwriting. Phase 2, make official. Operation ring. Below it, Lily had added. Target date, 8 months. Dad's ready. Sophie's edition. We're helping pick the ring. Non-negotiable. Michael showed it to Sarah over coffee. She burst out laughing. They're planning your proposal? Apparently. That's actually adorable. That's terrifying. What if I wasn't ready? Sarah took his hand. Are you ready? Michael looked at her. At Maya helping the triplets with breakfast. At the chaos that had become his favorite sound. Yeah, I think I am. Good, because so am I. 8 months in, Michael proposed. Simple. At home. With all 4 girls present. Exactly as the triplets had planned. Come here, he called one Saturday morning. Emma, Lily, Sophie, and Maya gathered in the living room. What's going on? Maya asked. Michael knelt down, pulled out a small velvet box. The triplets gasped. Their plan had worked. Sarah Mitchell. 8 months ago, my daughters catfished us both. They hacked my email, created fake profiles, and orchestrated an elaborate scheme that should have been a disaster. The girls giggled. Sarah's hand flew to her mouth. Instead, it was the best thing that ever happened to me. You brought light back into my life. You love my daughters like they were yours. You let me love Maya like she's mine. He opened the box. Simple diamond ring. Will you marry me? Will you let 4 scheming girls officially call you stepmom? Will you build this beautiful, chaotic life with me? Sarah was crying, nodding. Yes, yes, 1,000 times yes. The girls screamed, jumping, hugging, crying happy tears. We did it. Mission actually complete. Best matchmakers in history. Maya hugged Michael. I get to call you Dad now. If you want to, Michael said, voice thick with emotion. I want to. Emma, Lily, and Sophie hugged Sarah. You're officially our stepmom. We're keeping you forever. No returns. Sarah laughed through tears. No returns. I promise. Mrs. Chin appeared in the doorway. Tissues ready. About time. 3 months later, they married in Sarah's childhood home's backyard. Small ceremony. Close family and friends. Maya walked Sarah down the aisle, carrying a photo of David. So he's here too, she'd said. The triplets stood beside Michael, each holding a framed photo of Claire. Mom would love this, Emma had said. She'd love Sarah. Sarah's vows destroyed everyone. A year ago, I thought I was meeting a man who'd finally asked me out. Instead, I met 3 8-year-olds who'd catfished their father because they loved him too much to watch him suffer. She looked at Emma, Lily, and Sophie. Thank you for being brave, for hacking emails and creating spreadsheets, and refusing to let your dad hide from life. Thank you for choosing me before you even met me. Then to Maya, thank you for sharing me, for accepting Michael and his daughters, for opening your heart when it would have been easier to close it. Finally to Michael, you taught me that love doesn't end. It transforms. That grief and joy can coexist. That second chances are real and worth the risk. I love you. I love all 4 of these amazing kids. And I'm so grateful 3 8-year-olds knew how to hack email. Everyone laughed through tears. Michael's vows made it worse. I stood at Claire's grave and promised I'd take care of our girls. Make sure they grew up knowing they were loved. What I didn't promise was that I'd actually live while doing it. He looked at Sarah. You taught me the difference. You loved my daughters without trying to replace their mother. You honored David while loving me. You showed me that my heart was big enough for both past and future. His voice cracked. I love you. I love Maya. I love this weird blended family we're creating. Thank you for not running when you realized you'd been catfished by 3 8-year-olds. They kissed to thunderous applause, and 4 girls who'd started as strangers understood they were now sisters, forever. 1 year after the wedding, life had settled into a beautiful rhythm. The girls were 10 now, growing, thriving. Michael had started playing guitar again. Saturday mornings in the garage. Sarah had set up an art studio in the spare room, painting again. You were right, Michael told her one evening. The girls love seeing us have our own things, because it shows them it's okay to be themselves. Maya and the triplets had formed an unbreakable bond. Remember when we were worried they wouldn't get along? Sarah laughed. Now we can't separate them. 2 years after the wedding, their family grew. Baby David Michael Chun, named for both men they'd lost. The girls were obsessed. Can I hold him? Emma asked constantly. My turn. Lily insisted. You already went. Sophie protested. Maya just stared. He's so tiny. Was I that tiny? Tinier, Sarah said. Impossible. Michael watched his family. His chaotic, blended, perfect family. What are you thinking? Sarah asked, baby David in her arms. That 4 years ago, I was just surviving, going through motions. And now I'm living, really living. 3 little girls did that. 3 little criminals, Michael corrected with a smile. Our criminals. Our perfect, meddling, wonderful criminals. 5 years after the catfishing incident, the girls were 13. Maya was 14. Baby David was 2. Sunday dinner. Weekly tradition. How was everyone's week? Michael asked. Boring, Maya said, picking at her food. Tests, Emma groaned. So much homework, Lily added. The usual, Sophie finished. I went to park, David announced. Big slide. You did. Sarah enthused. So brave. After dinner, Emma pulled Michael aside. Dad, can I ask something? Always, Bug. Do you still miss Mom? Claire, Mom. The question caught him off guard. Every day. But you love Sarah too. I do. That doesn't confuse you. Michael thought carefully. You know how you can love chocolate and vanilla ice cream. Loving one doesn't mean you love the other less. Yeah, it's like that. Your mom will always be my first love. The mother of you 3. Irreplaceable. But Sarah is my second chance. My new beginning. Both things are true at the same time. Emma hugged him. Good, because we love both of them too. Claire Mom and Sarah Mom. That's allowed. That's actually perfect. Later that week, the triplets came to Michael with another scheme. We have an idea, Emma announced. Oh no, Michael said. Hear us out. Lily insisted. We want to renew your vows. Sophie finished. Michael blinked. What? It's been 5 years since you met, Emma explained. 5 years since we catfished you both. We want to celebrate, Lily added. Properly this time. With all of us, Sophie said, as a real family. Michael felt his throat tighten. You 3 planned this. Maya helped, Emma admitted. She's part of this too. All 3 nodded. We already talked to Sarah, Lily said. She cried. A lot. She said yes, Sophie added. Michael pulled them into a hug. You know what? That's the best scheme you've ever had. 2 months later, they gathered in the same backyard where they'd married. But this time it was different. The girls had planned everything. Decorations, music, vows. We wrote your vows, Emma announced. Because you less plan your first date. We should plan this too. Michael and Sarah exchanged amused glances. Okay, Michael said. Let's hear them. Emma stepped forward, cleared her throat. 5 years ago, we were 3 scared little girls who'd lost our mom. We thought Dad would be sad forever, that our family would always feel broken. Lily continued. Then we met Sarah at a restaurant, and we saw something Dad couldn't see, that she was kind, that she understood loss. that she could fit into the broken spaces of our family. Sophie finished. So we catfished you both. And it worked. And now we're not broken anymore. We're just different. And different is beautiful. Maya stepped forward next. 5 years ago, I was a lonely kid who'd lost her dad. I thought Mom would never smile again, that I'd never have a real family. She looked at Michael. Then you walked into our lives. And you didn't try to replace my dad. You just loved me anyway. You showed me that family isn't about blood. It's about choice. Little David toddled forward. I love you, he announced. Everyone laughed through tears. Michael and Sarah stood facing each other. I didn't write vows, Michael admitted, because anything I could say, you already know. He took her hands. 5 years ago, 3 little criminals gave me back my life, but you taught me how to live it. You love my broken pieces. You honor my past while building our future. You're my second chance, my new beginning, my forever. Sarah was crying openly. I didn't write vows either, because words don't capture this. What we've built, this beautiful, chaotic, perfect family. She looked at the girls, at little David, at Michael. 5 years ago, I thought I was going on a date. Instead, I found my home. Thank you for choosing me. Thank you for letting me choose you back. They kissed. The family cheered. Emma, Lily, and Sophie held hands, watching their plan come full circle. We did good, Emma whispered. We did great, Lily agreed. Best matchmakers ever, Sophie finished. That evening, after the celebration, Michael found the triplets on the porch. Hey, Bugs. Hey, Dad. I wanted to thank you. For tonight. For 5 years ago. For not giving up on me. We do it again, Emma said. In a heartbeat, Lily added. But maybe with less hacking next time. Sophie finished. Michael laughed. Pulled them close. You know what the best part is? What? I'm not just surviving anymore. I'm not going through motions. I'm actually genuinely happy. We know, Emma said. We can tell. Because you smile now, Lily added. Real smiles, not sad ones. And you laugh, Sophie finished. Like you used to before Mom died. Michael's eyes filled with tears. You 3 saved me. You know that. You saved us too, Emma said. By being brave enough to love again. By showing us it's okay to move forward. They sat there, father and daughters, watching stars. Dad, Lily said after a while. Yeah, Bug, do you think Mom would be proud of us? For what we did? Michael thought about Claire. About her last words to him. Don't stop living, she'd whispered. Promise me you'll find joy again. That the girls will see you happy. Yeah, Michael said. I think she'd be really proud. Good, Sophie said. Because we're proud of us too. But the triplets weren't done scheming. 6 months after the vow renewal, Emma burst through the front door, waving her phone like she'd discovered gold. Emergency family meeting. Michael looked up from helping David with homework. What happened? Kitchen. Now. Everyone. Within minutes, they'd assembled. Sarah. Maya. The triplets. Even little David, clutching his stuffed dinosaur. Okay, Emma said, pulling up her phone. We have a situation. Oh no, Michael muttered to Sarah. Here we go again. Remember Mrs. Chun? Our neighbor who helped us catfish Dad. Lily added helpfully. The one who drove you to the restaurant and kept your secret. Sarah asked dryly. That's the one, Sophie confirmed. Emma showed them photos on her phone. Mrs. Chun at the grocery store. Alone. Eating dinner by herself at her kitchen table. Sitting on her porch watching families walk by. She's lonely, Emma said quietly. Really lonely. Michael's expression softened. Girls. Her husband died 10 years ago. Lily interrupted. Her kids live across the country. She helped us when we needed it most. Now she needs us. What are you thinking? Sarah asked, though she already knew the answer. Operation Grandma. All 3 said simultaneously. Oh God, Sarah laughed. Not another operation. Hear us out. Emma insisted. There's this widower. Mr. Patterson. He moved in 3 houses down last month. He's 72, Lily added, pulling up his photo. Same age as Mrs. Chun. She gardens every morning, Sophie continued. She gardens every afternoon. They've literally never met. You want to catfish a 72-year-old man, Michael said slowly. And oh, all three shouted in horror. We want to organically introduce them, Emma corrected. Very different. There's nothing organic about anything you're planning, Sarah pointed out. But she was smiling. Look. Emma pulled up more photos. Mrs. Chen's garden. Perfect roses. Vibrant hydrangeas. Then Mr. Patterson's garden. Tomatoes. Peppers. Herbs. She grows flowers. He grows vegetables, Lily explained. They're literally complementary. Mrs. Chen needs flowers for the community center fundraiser next week, Sophie said. Mr. Patterson mentioned he's looking for fresh vegetables for the senior potluck. So we suggest they swap, Emma finished. Face to face. Simple. Michael looked at Sarah. Should we stop them? Probably. Are we going to? Sarah watched the girls' hopeful faces. Thought about Mrs. Chen eating alone. About the kindness she'd shown their family. Absolutely not. The girls erupted in cheers. Operation Grandma's G.O. Emma announced. David raised his dinosaur triumphantly. Go. 3 days later, Emma knocked on Mrs. Chen's door. Hi, sweetie, Mrs. Chen said, surprised. What brings you by? I need help with my school project. About community connections. Mrs. Chen invited her in. Made tea. Settled at her kitchen table, where a single placemat sat. What's the project about? We're supposed to interview someone about loneliness in neighborhoods. Mrs. Chen's smile faltered slightly. Oh, not you specifically, Emma added quickly. But do you have thoughts about it? Mrs. Chen was quiet for a moment. You know, Emma, loneliness is strange. You can be surrounded by people and still feel invisible. Like at the grocery store? Exactly. Everyone's with someone. Couples. Families. And you're just there. Alone. Emma's eyes filled with tears. That's not fair. It's just life, sweetie. You get old. People move away. It happens. But it shouldn't have to be lonely, Emma said fiercely. You helped us when Dad was lonely after Mom died. You drove us to that restaurant. You made sure Dad found happiness again. I remember. So why can't we help you? Mrs. Chen patted her hand. Because I'm 72, honey. My time for romance is over. Says who? Emma challenged. You're kind. You're funny. You have the best garden on the street. And you deserve to not eat dinner alone every night. Mrs. Chen's eyes glistened. You sound just like your mother, Emma. Claire always said things like that. Then maybe you should listen. That weekend, Sarah organized a neighborhood garden swap at their house. Completely innocent, she told Michael while setting up tables in the backyard. Aha. And Mrs. Chun and Mr. Patterson both just happened to be invited? Pure coincidence. You're as bad as the Triplets. I learned from the best. Saturday afternoon, neighbors filled their backyard. Mrs. Chen arrived early, carrying an armful of stunning roses. Thank you for inviting me, she told Sarah. Of course. We need those beautiful flowers for the table. Where should I put them? Oh, over by the vegetable display. Create some contrast. Mrs. Chen walked over to the table, where Mr. Patterson was already standing, arranging his tomatoes with careful precision. They both reached for the table at the same time. Hands touched. Oh, excuse me, Mrs. Chen said, pulling back. No, my fault entirely, Mr. Patterson replied. They looked at each other, and something shifted. Those are beautiful roses, he said, his voice soft. Thank you. Your tomatoes are quite impressive. Homegrown. First successful batch from a new house. You're new to the neighborhood? 3 months now. Still learning everyone's names and feeling rather out of place, if I'm honest. I'm Margaret Chen, 3 houses down from here. Robert Patterson. It's lovely to meet you, Margaret. They shook hands. Neither let go immediately. From the kitchen window, 5 faces watched like it was the Super Bowl. "It's working," Emma whispered, barely breathing. "They're still holding hands," Lily added, gripping the windowsill. "Told you this would work," Sophie said smugly. "You guys are geniuses." Maya grinned. "Best," David shouted, then clapped a hand over his mouth. For the next hour, Margaret and Robert talked nonstop. About gardening techniques. About losing spouses. About the strange loneliness of being surrounded by young families in the suburban neighborhood. "You're right there," Robert said, gesturing down the street, 3 houses away, "and I had no idea." "I saw you working in your garden last week," Margaret admitted, "but I didn't want to intrude. You seemed focused." "Intrude? Margaret, I've been desperate for someone to talk to. Someone who understands what it's like to lose everything and start over at this age." "Me too," she whispered. "God, me too." As the party wound down, Robert helped Margaret carry her roses to her car. "Would you like to have coffee sometime?" he asked, nervous as a teenager. As neighbors, fellow gardeners, fellow survivors. Margaret's face lit up like sunrise. "I would like that very much." They exchanged phone numbers. Real numbers this time. From the porch, Emma high-fived her sisters, so hard it echoed. "Phase 1 complete," Lily whispered. "On to Phase 2, Sophie added. "There's a Phase 2? Michael asked, suddenly appearing behind them. "There's always a Phase 2, all 3 said together. Over the following weeks, Margaret and Robert became inseparable. Coffee every morning on his porch, gardening together in the afternoons, combining their plots, evening walks around the neighborhood, holding hands like teenagers. "They're adorable," Sarah said one evening, watching them walk past the window. "They're 70, Michael pointed out. "So, romance doesn't have an age limit." "I guess it doesn't." 2 months after the garden swap, Robert knocked on their door with Margaret beside him, both grinning like kids with a secret. "We wanted to thank you," Margaret said. "For what?" Sarah asked innocently. "For the garden swap. For introducing us. For not letting 2 stubborn old people stay lonely." Robert squeezed Margaret's hand. "And for these 3 brilliant girls who saw what we couldn't." "We know it wasn't innocent," Margaret added with a knowing smile. "But we're grateful anyway." "Are you happy?" Michael asked. "Happier than I've been in 10 years, Margaret said, her eyes bright. "Then that's all that matters," Sarah replied. 3 months after that first garden swap meeting, Robert proposed. In Margaret's rose garden, on one knee despite his arthritis, making it difficult. "We're 72 years old," he said, voice shaking. "We don't have time to waste on long engagements or playing it safe. I know we've only known each other a few months, but I'm too old to pretend. I love you, Margaret. Will you marry me?" Margaret was crying, laughing, nodding all at once. "Yes. God, yes, Robert. Yes." They told the triplets first thing the next morning. "You 3 did this," Margaret said, her voice thick with emotion. "You saw 2 lonely old people and refused to accept it." "You're not old," Emma protested immediately. "And everyone deserves love," Lily added firmly. "Everyone. At any age," Sophie finished. "Thank you," Robert said, his eyes suspiciously bright, "for being meddling, wonderful, perfect kids who don't know when to leave well enough alone." "You're welcome," all 3 chorused. "That's what we do. And they should be. Because sometimes love ends, but sometimes it transforms. Sometimes grief wins, but sometimes hope is stronger. Sometimes 8-year-olds see what adults can't. That life is too short for going through motions. That happiness is worth the risk. That second chances are real. And sometimes the best love stories start with 3 little girls who refuse to watch their father drown, who hack emails and create spreadsheets and orchestrate elaborate schemes, who believe in happy endings even when the adults have given up. 10 years after that first catfish date, Michael and Sarah sat on their porch. Same ritual, different decade. The triplets were 18 now, about to start college. Maya was 19, already in her 2nd year. David was 7, convinced he was already grown up. Can you believe it's been 10 years? Sarah asked. Some days it feels like yesterday. The best yesterday. Michael pulled her close. You know what I realized? What? Those girls gave me more than a second chance at love. They taught me that broken doesn't mean finished. That endings can be beginnings. That family is what you make it. They taught me the same thing. They sat in comfortable silence, watching stars. From inside, they heard laughter. The triplets teaching David some elaborate game. Maya trying to referee. Beautiful chaos. Sarah, yeah, I'm really glad they hacked my email. Sarah laughed. Me too. Don't ever tell them I said that. Your secret's safe with me. But of course, 3 girls were listening from the window. He said we were right. Emma whisper screamed. Told you. Lily grinned. Best daughters ever. Sophie declared. And really, they weren't wrong. Because 10 years ago, 3 8-year-olds refused to accept that their father's story was over. They saw a man drowning and threw him a lifeline. They found a woman who understood loss and brought her into their broken family. They orchestrated an elaborate catfishing scheme that should have been a disaster. Instead, it was a miracle. The kind of miracle that only happens when brave little girls decide that love is worth fighting for. That happiness is worth the risk. That second chances are real. And that sometimes the best way to save someone is to refuse to let them give up. If this story touched your heart the way it touched mine, please don't let it end here. Let it remind you kindness still matters, compassion still changes lives, and hope is never wasted. Subscribe and be part of our Heart Echo Stories family, where every voice finds its reflection, and every story reminds us that light always finds its way back. And if this moment moved you, share it, because sometimes sharing hope is the kindest thing we can do.